The following is a presentation of Retro Sports Network and made possible by Patreons like you. If you're interested in having any game in the Action PC lineup played for just $10, go to patreon.com, Retro Sports Network today, and ask for your game of choice. Any of the big four for $10. Makes a great gift if you went to the first game you ever went to, first game your dad ever took you to, first game that you took your son to or daughter or whatever. Or if you just want to leave a tip to the channel, patreon.com at retro sports or / retro sports network. Why, hi there, I'm Ron Juckett, and this is our Patreon baseball special, and today we're going to feature a doubleheader between the 2004 Boston Red Sox and 1986 Boston Red Sox, or the anti-ID Jester game of the day. And so, this is the second of our series of games for Kurt Berglund, who wants to try to match up the teams of our youth against the modern teams, although the 04 team is now 15 years old, to see whose cuisine reigns supreme. Who was a better ball club. My guess would be that the 86 team has a decent chance in this series. You're going to see Roger Clemens in Game 1. You're going to see Bruce Hurst in Game 2. And this team could hit. But for the 04 Red Sox, this was the team that anyone who grew up in New England dreamed of. The one that finally broke through. The one that finally ended all the talk of curses and Dan Shaughnessy's book profits. And won the World Series. And they did it in the most improbable fashion ever. Down 3-0 to the New York Yankees in the American League Championship Series. They swept them, winning 4 games to 3, and then proceeded to sweep the St. Louis Cardinals, who are 108 game winners, 104 game, a lot of winners, the big winning team in 2004 to win the World Series. So we'll see. We got a good one. It's Curt Schilling for the modern Red Sox and 86 for the high school team. And a lot of familiar names, and let's see what happens. So let's play some baseball. In a beautiful June 7th, 1986 night it is. I guess that would be a Saturday, because that's what the computer told me. Computer's running the 04 team in Game 1. I'm going to run the 86 in Game 2. We'll flip it. 68 degrees in Boston. 12-mile-an-hour winds blowing out to right center or towards the triangle. And on the hill for the 86 Sox, Roger Clemens at 24-4. The breakthrough season. The best pitching season since Mel Parnell's 25-win effort in 1949. He went 24-4, Clemens did, with a 2.48 ERA. In 254 innings, he allowed 179 hits, 21 homers. He walked 67 and struck out a then franchise record-tying 238 strikeouts. I believe Smokey Joe Wood is who he tied for that. His whip of 969 in the American League in 1986 hit 195 off him. One tough hombre. And here's the lineup that he will face. Johnny Damon will lead off and play center field. Mark Bellhorn will bat second and play second. In left field, Manny Ramirez. The DH, David Ortiz, and thank goodness he's okay. Jason Varitek is behind the plate. He'll bat fifth. Kevin Millar, cowboy up, will bat sixth and play first. Bill Miller, who won the batting title as a 9-hitter in 2003, will bat seventh. Orlando Cabrera will bat eighth and play short. And Gabe Kapler, the right fielder, will bat ninth. Computer chose a 25 from each team to use, and so it chose Cabrera as the shortstop. Jim Rice is in left. He's a 5-arm. We'll see what kind of fielder he is in a minute. Because of at-bats, it did not choose Dave Henderson. It chose Tony Armas to play center, and so we'll go along with that. He's a 5 and a 7. Dwight Evans a 9, and we'll see what kind of arm he has. He made that great throw, I believe, to Neil Strawberry and won the World Series games at Fenway. Someone will tell me if I'm wrong, you always do. Wade Boggs is a 6 at third. Ray Quinones not Spike Owen as a shortstop. He's a 5. Computer did not pick Owen for the 25. Marty Barrett, who was a better second baseman than many people thought or think he is now, was a 5 at second. Bill Buckner, God rest his soul, is 7 at first. And Rich Gedman, a 7 and 10 behind the plate for Clemens. And up steps Johnny Damon at 304, 20 homers, and 94 RBI. And now that the mouse knows what to do, let's play this game. Clemens winds and deals. Ground ball to Barrett. Over to Buckner, 1 out. So Rice is 7 and 5 in left, and Dewey 9 and 10 in right. Just an absolute howitzer out there. Mark Bellhorn, feast or famine at 264. 17 homers and 82 RBI. He walked 88 and struck out 177 times. That's amazing. Clemens from the belt delivers. Fly ball to shallow right. Evans comes in to make the catch. 2 out. For one, Manny Ramirez, who hit 308, 43 homers, 130 RBI, and had an OPS of 1010. Wins. 2 out, Clemens pitch. Fly ball to center. Armas goes back to the track and bobbles it. So Manny's going to reach on the 2-base error, and Armas just lost that in the lights. So an auspicious start. Clemens thought he had the side retired. And that brings up one David Ortiz at 301, 41 homers and 139 RBI. Clemens just kind of looks out at Armas and now works from the stretch. Here's the pitch, and Ortiz singles out one to right. Ramirez is going to score. It's an unearned run, and it's 1-0 04. So the world champs draw first blood. Here comes the captain, Jason Varitek, 296, 18 homers and 73 RBI. Clemens is livid out there. Here's the pitch. Got him! He swung on and missed, strike 3. So 1 run, 1 hit on the air by Armas. After half an inning, the world champs are up 1-0. So let me tell you about Curt Schilling. He went 21 and 6 in 04 for the Red Sox. Came over that Thanksgiving from Arizona. Theo Epstein went and had Thanksgiving dinner and convinced him to come. 26 and 2/3 innings, 206 hits, 23 homers, 35 walks, and 203 strikeouts. What control is whip of 106.3. The lineup he will face: Wade Boggs, the leadoff hitter, and that's who was the leadoff hitter in 86. Marty Barrett will bat second and play second. Then Jim Rice will bat third. Dwight Evans cleans up in right. Then Don Baylor, the DH, will bat fifth. Rich Gedman will go sixth. Bill Buckner, you would think his on-base percentage would have been higher, but it was only .311, and that's why he's batting seventh and playing first. Ray Quinones will bat eighth at short, and Tony Armas, at the end of his Red Sox career, will bat ninth and play center, and Clemens threw a whopping 23 pitches in the first. Defensively, Manny Ramirez is a 3 and 6 in left. Johnny Damon an 8 and 5 in center. Gabe Kapler is a 5 in right. We'll see the arm in a moment. Bill Miller is a 5 at third. Orlando Cabrera a 7 at short. Mark Bellhorn a 7 at second. Kevin Millar a 5 at first, and Jason Varitek a 6 and a 3 behind the plate. But this team isn't going to steal. Wade Boggs at 357, 8 homers and 71 RBI. Schilling delivers, and Boggs lifts that one into right. Kapler, who has a 6 arm to go with his 5 range, makes the catch, 1 away. Here's Marty Barrett at 286, 4 homers and 60 RBI. Schilling is ready. Winds and deals, and Marty grounds out one to Millar, takes it to first himself for the out, 2 away. Here's Jim Rice. He had a magnificent 86. The power was gone, but not the ability to hit. He had 324, 200 hits. 20 homers and 110 RBI, and he only grounded into 19 double plays. Schilling deals, and Rice hits this one into right field. Back goes Kapler, who makes the catch on the track to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the second. It's the world champs, nothing. The American League champions, or one. The American League champions, nothing. So Cowboy up, Kevin Millar, Bill Miller, and Orlando Cabrera for the 04 squad here in the second. Millar at 297, 18 homers and 74 RBI. Clemens deals, struck him out. Fastball at 93, and Millar chased a 2-2 for strike 3. So that's 2 for Jolly Roger. And here's Miller at 283, 12 homers and 57 RBI. Clemens deals, and Miller sends that one to the wall in left center. Rice should have got a better jump on it, and Miller's got himself a stand-up double. So Clemens working out of trouble again here in the second. Here's Cabrera at 294, 6 homers and 31 RBI. He came over on July 31st. That was a deadline deal that saw Nomar Garcia-Parra go to the Cubs. Pitch from Clemens. Gets away from Gedman. Miller will go to third on the wild pitch. So 3-2 the count, 1 out. And Roger kind of scuffling here early. Cabrera deals, and there's a fly ball to left center. Armas is there. Miller will tag, and it's 2-0 world champs. So poor defense, the story. First earned run for Clemens. And that brings up Gabe Kapler at 272, 6 homers and 33 RBI. Nobody on, 2 out, top the second, 2-0 04 Red Sox. Clemens from the wind, fly ball to right. Evans goes deep, it makes the catch. A run and the hit, the double that Rice should have corralled. It hurt the Red Sox again after an inning and a half. The world champs 2, the American League 86ers, nothing. So Evans, Baylor, and Gedman to face Schilling. Evans at 259, but 26 homers and 97 RBI. What? 97 times. And this time he strikes out. 1-2 off-speed pitch, swung on and missed strike 3. So Schilling gets him on the slider, 1 away for Don Baylor. Baylor was with the Yankees in 86, the Red Sox, or 85, the Red Sox in 86, and most of 87. Then he played for the Twins in the World Series in the latter half of 87, and then went to Oakland and was their DH in 88, and went to the World Series. He won 1. He got his ring with the Twins. 238, 31 homers, and 94 RBI. Schilling delivers, and there's a slow chopper to Cabrera. Long throw over to Millar for the out. So Schilling has 5 up, 5 down for Rich Gedman, and this is the height of Rich Gedman's career. 258, 16 homers, could not hit a lick versus lefties, and 65 RBI. Pitch from Schilling, got him! Curveball for strike 3. So Gedman watched that one go by. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 2, it's the world champs 2, the American League champs nothing. So 9 batters for Clemens over 2 innings. 2 hits and 2 strikeouts. 2 runs, only 1 earned. And 39 pitches. Damon is 0 for 1. Clemens delivers. And Damon sends that one into the triangle. This might be 3. He's got 2 and going to hold. And so in Clemens, that's the third it is allowed. And another loud one at that. Brings up Bellhorn, who's 0 for 1. So Clemens not very comfortable on the mound. Here's the pitch. And that will drive home. Bellhorn will single, and it's 3-0 04 Red Sox. They've kind of nickeled and dimed Clemens. Manny Ramirez reached on an error by Armas and scored. I don't think Clemens has recovered from the error. Pitch to Manny. Fly ball, left field. Rice will get it. No, he won't. Oh, yes, he will. No, he didn't. Ramirez singled. That should have been extra bases, and Manny kind of loafed it. So still runners on the corners and nobody out. That was kind of tricky off the bat. Rice got it figured out too late, and Manny just kind of lollygagged it. He pulled a George Hendrick, if you will. It brings up Ortiz, who's got himself an RBI single. Clemens delivers, and the bases are loaded. For Jason Varitek, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. You would have thought that Clemens would have had the edge. I would have thought that Clemens had the edge coming in, but he's been pretty ineffective so far. Bellhorn on third, Ramirez on second, and Ortiz on first. Millar on deck. Pitch to Varitek. Got him! 2-2, strike 3 called on the off-speed pitch, and there's one away. For Millar, who struck out his first time up, 1 of 3 by Clemens. Pitch to Kevin, fly ball to left. Rice goes back, makes the catch. Bellhorn will tag. The throw goes in the infield, and it's 4-0-4. There's Miller. He doubled his first time up. Clemens has just got nothing out here tonight. He deals. Runners go. Gets away from Gedman. Everybody moves up 90 on the pass ball. The 86 team has come out playing like a nervous wreck. 2-1 the count. 4-0-4. 2 outs, top of the third. Pitch to Miller. And that's a line drive to Buckner, who snares it and falls down. Doesn't matter, that's the third out. So Buckner with an absolute web gem to save 2 runs. Clemens gives him a pat on the back as they go back to the dugout. 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors after 2.5. It's the 0-4 team 4. The 86ers have been 86. They have nothing. So Buckner, Quinones, and Armas killing here in the third. Buckner only hit .267. In 86, 18 homers, though, and 102 RBI. But he normally hit third, behind Boggs and Barrett. He walked 40 times and struck out 25 in a 162-game season. Silling delivers, and Buckner, of course, does what gives us the announcer's jinx and looks at a 3-2 pitch for strike 3 right down the middle. That's 3 for Schilling. Here's Ray Quinones, 237, 2 homers, and 15 RBI. Deals, and Quinones hits a fly ball to right. Kapler is there for the out, 2 away. Brings up Tony Armas at 264, 11 homers, and 58 RBI. Schilling, 8 up, 8 down. Here's the pitch. Armas flies one to left center. In comes Damon, and he will retire the side. So again, no runs, no hits, no errors. After 3, it's the 0-4 Red Sox 4. 86 Boston nothing. So Clemens sat by himself in the dugout with his face in a towel. Will face Cabrera, Kapler, and Damon. Cabrera has an RBI. Pitch from Roger, right back up the middle. Clemens stabs it, throws to Buckner for the out. No, it got away from Buckner. Are you kidding me? It went over his head, and Cabrera is on with an error. And so instead of having the routine grounder that Clemens should have had, it's a 2-base error. And so the 86 Red Sox have beaten themselves. Here's Kapler. He's 0 for 1. Clemens delivers, ground ball to Buckner, runs to first, and it took an effort to beat Kapler. Cabrera goes to third, and that'll bring up Johnny Damon. So the 86 team is playing in. They don't want Cabrera to score. 1 out here in the 4th. Clemens has made an absolute mess out of this. 3 1/3 innings, 5 hits. a walk and 3 strikeouts, and now 3 earned runs. And his error put Cabrera immediately in scoring position. Damon's got himself a double and a run scored. He's 1 for 2. Clemens delivers. Fly ball to right center. That will score Cabrera. Armas has it tracked down. The throw's coming home, and they're safe. Gedman got it, but he was on the wrong side of the plate, and that sac fly makes it 5-0-4. Brings up Bellhorn, who is 1 for 2 with a single, an RBI, and a run scored. Clemens deals, and Bellhorn sends that one into right center. That got almost into the triangle, and Mark has himself a double. And Roger Clemens is pitching like fat 1993 Roger Clemens right now. There's Manny Ramirez, 1 for 2. When Mark Bellhorn gets 2 hits off you, you know you're in trouble. Ramirez has a run scored and a single. Clemens delivers. Ramirez, fly ball deep to left. Rice goes back and makes the catch to retire the side. A run. An unearned run, a hit, and an error. After 3.5, it's the 04 Sox 5, the 86 Sox nothing. And so they worked 43 pitches through 9 batters. Off Schilling. They will get to that pin. Boggs is 0 for 1. Schilling got the first 9 in order and struck out 3. Pitch to Boggs is a base hit left side. Ramirez will pick it up. Wade will hold it first. And the 86ers are finally got a base runner. Marty Barrett's 0 for 1. Boggs is not going anywhere. Marty's going to drop a bunt. Schilling comes down to field it. He throws to Bellhorn covering. Marty is a 10 bunter out of 10. And Boggs moves to second, which means that Rice can't ground into a double play. So Jim Ed is 0 for 1, and Boggs is in scoring position. Schilling delivers, struck him out. He got him on an 85-mile-an-hour changeup, swing and a miss, strike 3. That's 4 for Kurt. And that brings up Dwight Evans, who's 0 for 1. So the 86 team has a runner in scoring position, 2 out for Evans. Schilling delivers. Got him! Another breaking ball on the outside corner. Strike 3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 4, the 86 team finally stranded a runner. It's Boston 5. The AL champs nothing. So Clemens, that leash is now short. Ortiz walked and singled. He's got himself an RBI and is 1 for 1. Clemens delivers, and Ortiz lifts this one deep to right. Evans is there, 1 away. Brings up the captain, Jason Varitek. He has struck out twice. Clemens is 3 on the night. 2 of them belong to this man. He delivers, and Varitek sends that one into right field. Armas got a late jump on it, and that's a double for Varitek. And Clemens is his defense has let him down. He's let himself down. They have thoroughly beaten themselves. Fire the manager run. Oh, that's me. Kevin Millar is up. Kevin is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and an RBI. Roger deals, and Millar is hit. And Millar is hurt. And Dave Roberts is the new runner at first. And that's enough of that. That is enough of that. Who have I got as a long reliever? Yep. Bob Stanley. Bob went 6-6 in 86 with 16 saves and a 4.37 ERA. In 82 and a third innings, that palm ball floated everywhere but where it should have been. He allowed 109 hits, 9 homers, 22 walks, and 54 strikeouts. But they need a long man, and that's Stanley. Here's Miller, who's 1 for 2 He's doubled and scored. Stanley delivers, and there's a ground ball right back to Bob, over to Buckner for the out. So Roberts and Varitek move up 90. Varitek on third, Roberts on, it's not that Dave Roberts. On second for Orlando Cabrera. So Stanley induced the grounder. Did his job. Cabrera 0 for 1 RBI and a run scored. Stanley delivers, and he got him! He swung on and missed a 2-2 fastball, a strikeout. How about that? No runs, a hit, and no errors. The Roger Clemens experience is over. What? All right, we're going to go fix the Red Sox here. Boston, the 014 leads 5-0. And we will fix some things. Nope, I don't have any first baseman. So we'll burn Cesar Crespo, and trust me, that's not anything worthwhile. So Johnny Damon goes back in the game in center field, and Pokey Reese, or Pee-wee, can kind of field first base. He never did it. So the Red Sox lost their first baseman. And there you have it. That's kind of interesting. Shooting, it really is a case of mistaken identity. Unbelievable. That had been talked about. The shooter had, or the guy that, the motorcycle guy, the one that was beat up, and said, oh, no, we were looking for someone that was dressed like that, but we weren't looking for Ortiz. I wonder if that really is the case. And my buddy Andrew doesn't buy that for a second. I'm not sure. I have a hard time buying that one, too. Here's Don Baylor. He's 0 for 1. Schilling allowed the one hit. That was in the fourth. So Baylor, Gedman, and Buckner. Pitch to Baylor, and there's a base hit in the left side, in the left field, and Baylor's got himself a single. I forgot I had to fix the Red Sox. So Ramirez tosses it back in, or not, and that'll bring up Gedman, who's 0 for 1. So second hit for the 86 Red Sox. Pitch. And there's a base hit right side, so Baylor will hold at second. Gedman on first with the single. And the 86 team is chugging right along. Here's Billy Buckner. He has struck out. He's 0 for 1, but he's got 2 on. He can't possibly strike out twice. He struck out 25 times in 153 games. In fact, he grounded into as many double plays as he did strikeouts. Schilling delivers. Buckner ground ball to Cabrera. Bellhorn for 1. Over to Pokey, and Buckner is out. That's a double play. Baylor goes to third. And so Buckner did the other thing he shouldn't have done. He goes 6-4-3, and that'll bring up Ray Quinones, who's 0 for 1. Pitch from Schilling. Quinones up the middle, and Damon had it played perfectly. So again, the 86 Red Sox threaten, but they do not score. After 5, it's the 04 Sox 5, the 86 Sox nothing. Gabe Kapler. Johnny Damon and Mark Bellhorn to face Stanley here in the 6th. Kapler is 0 for 2. I never did the mid-game box score. You can see where, I don't know why I didn't put Roberts in there. Mark Bellhorn is 2 for 3. And that tells you everything you need to know about Roger Clemens' night. It was poop. Schilling 3 hits over 5 innings and 5 strikeouts. Clemens just pooped the bit. 7 hits over 4 1/3, 5 runs, 3 earned. And Bob Stanley in now for as long as he's needed. Kapler, as I said, is 0 for 2. Pitch. Here's a ground ball to Barrett. Comes in on the grass over to Buckner for the out. And so Stanley is getting his pitches down, which is what they needed. Brings up Johnny Damon, who's 1 for 2 with a double, a run scored, and an RBI. Pitch to Damon is a base hit in the right center. Evans throws it right back in. 1 out for Bellhorn, who is 2 for 3. Single, doubled, has an RBI and a run scored. And a strikeout. Throw to first, and Damon's not. Oh, they got him! Ha ha ha! Stanley picked him off. Wow. So for as much grief as I've given Bob Stanley on this channel, he's retired 4 batters. 1 got on, but he picked him off. Here is Bellhorn. Still 2 for 3. Pitch from Stanley, and Bellhorn, sharp grounder to Buckner, takes it to the bag himself, and that will retire the side. Open up a beer, Bob Stanley, you've earned it. No runs, a hit, no errors. After 5.5, it's the world champion Red Sox 5, the American League 86ers nothing. So Tony Armas, Wade Boggs, and Marty Barrett to bat here in the bottom of the 6th. Schilling delivers, and Armas strikes out. He got fooled on a full count pitch. And it brings up Boggs. 18 batters down for Mr. Schilling. He did give up 3 hits this time around. 5 in the 3rd inning, 77 pitches, and 6 strikeouts. Boggs broke up the perfecto with a single in the 4th. 1 out, bottom of the 6th. Schilling delivers, ball 4. So that brings up, that's a walk. First walk for Kurt. He struck out 6, as I said. Brings up Marty Barrett, who's not going to squeeze this time. He's going to swing. He's 0 for 1. Also has a sac bunt. And there's a little liner that's going to go foul left side to someone from Saugus. Wearing a Hockey Town jacket makes that catch. 0-2 the count to Marty Barrett. Schilling delivers, and there's a ground ball to Cabrera, might be 2. Bellhorn for 1, over to Reese. And Pokey keeps a foot on the bag. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 6, yeah, the 86 Red Sox are going to win. You never know. It's 5-0, 0-4 after 6. So it'll be Manny, Ortiz, and Varitek. Manny 1 for 3. He singled and scored. Stanley's gone an inning and 2/3 and only allowed a hit. Pitch to Manny, right up the middle, right back to Stanley, over to Buckner for the out. So that brings up David Ortiz. Ortiz is 1 for 2. He has singled, walked, and driven in a run. Here's a line drive to Armas, who's going to drive. Can he snag it? No. Ortiz is on. Armas gave that one a good effort, and that's the second hit allowed by Mr. Stanley. Jason Varitek is 1 for 3 with a double. And has struck out twice. And he lines this one up the middle for a base hit. Ortiz will hold at second. So runners on first and second, 1 out here in the 7th for Pokey Reese, who at 221, 3 homers, and 29 RBI. Normally he would be the shortstop, but he was hurt a lot. And one of the reasons, well, he also got benched for Garcia Parra when Nomar came back from his injury, and then Nomar got traded. Stanley delivers. Pokey up the middle, base hit. Ortiz will round third and hold, and they are loaded for Bill Miller. 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. Pitch to Bill. Fly ball to right. Back goes Evans to the track. It is off the wall. Ortiz scores. Varitek scores. Pokey's going to try and score. Evans on a hop to Barrett. To Gedman at the plate. The tag, not in time. So it's 8 8-0-4, and Stanley finally gives in, gets Christmas treed for Cabrera, who's 0 for 2. He is struck out, has an RBI, sac fly in the second. 0 for 2 with an RBI. Ground ball to Quinones, over to Buckner for the out. Miller will hold at second. 2 out for Gabe Kapler, who's 0 for 3. Runner goes, and Stanley struck him out. 0-2 pitch on the inside corner, and Kapler watched the strike 3 go by. Stretch time here at Fenway in the first of this set. 3 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. Stretch time at Fenway. Get your chowder and your Kansas, everybody. 8-0 world champions. Rice, Evans, and Baylor will bat here. Off is Schilling. Rice 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Draws a walk. So the Red Sox are kind of pushing Schilling to the end of his rope. Dwight Evans has struck out twice. So Veritek goes out to chalk to Schilling. Rice isn't going anywhere. And Dewey pops this one up opposite field. Cabrera reaches over by the line, goes into foul territory, and makes the catch for the out, 1 away. Don Baylor is 1 for 2. Schilling delivers. Baylor, ground ball to Cabrera. Bellhorn for 1 over to Reese. And what happened? Oh, Reese came up with it but couldn't hold the bag, and so Baylor is safe. The Red Sox have been held to 3 hits. Well, one of them has. Rich Gedman is one of them. He's 1 for 2 with a strikeout. Schilling delivers, and Gedman sends that one into deep center. Damon is there, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 7 down. The world champs 8. The American League Red Sox nothing. Be Johnny Damon, Mark Bellhorn, and Manny Ramirez for the 04 club. Johnny 2 for 3. Doubled, singled, scored, and drove in an RBI. Stanley delivers, and Damon lines one to right. Evans comes in to make the catch for the first out. Mark Bellhorn, 2 for 4. Singled, doubled, scored, drove in a run. Pitch from Stanley. Bellhorn, ground ball to Quinones, over to Buckner for the out, 2 away. So Stanley getting back in the groove here in the top of the 8th. Manny Ramirez singled and scored. He's 1 for 4. Stanley delivers, and Manny bloops that one into center field. Armas will pick it up on a hop. And 2 out for Ortiz, who is 2 for 3. He has singled twice, he has walked, and he has scored. Also drove in a run. Runner on first, 8-0-04. 8 runs, 13 hits, no errors. And left 7 on. No runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, and left 3 on. Stanley delivers. Ortiz lines out one into right center, and Ramirez will hold at second. And look who's going to come in. Tom Seaver, just because I can. So Seaver, who was a late season acquisition, they needed a 5th starter for the drive down the stretch. Seaver was hurt and did not pitch in the playoffs. Went 5-7 with the Red Sox when he came over in the Steve Lyons deal, as a matter of fact. 3.80 ERA with the Boston. 104 1/3 innings, 114 hits, 8 homers, 29 walks, and 72 strikeouts. They'll face Veritek, Reese, and, well, Veritek at least. Jason's 2 for 4. He has singled, doubled, scored, and struck out twice. Seaver delivers, and Veritek sends this one into right center. Armas comes in to make the catch. So Schilling to face Buckner, maybe Quinones, and maybe Armas. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 0-4-8, 86-0. So Buckner, 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded into a double play. Schilling deals, and Buckner sends this one into high drive to right. Kapler goes back to make the catch. Quinones. I got shortstops, right? I got Easy Eddie Romero, and I have Lions. Who can hit righties? Nobody can hit righties. So Quinones will stay in the game. Schilling delivers, and Quinones slow roller to Miller at third. Long throw to Pokey, and he does the hokey pokey at first and kept himself on the bag, and that's what it's all about. 2 out for Tony Armas, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Schilling deals, and Armas sends this one into shallow center. Damon is there, and that will retire the side. Go to the 86 Red Sox. They have good pitching, he said. Schilling's throwing a 3-hitter. Go to the top of the 9th. It'll be Pokey Reese, Bill Miller, and Orlando Cabrera to face one Tom Seaver. Pokey singled and scored. That tells you everything you need to know about how bad it was for Roger Clemens and company tonight. And there's a ground ball to Barrett deep in the hole. Over to Buckner for the out. Brings up Miller. He's doubled twice and driven in 3. 2 for 4. Fly ball to center field. Armas goes way back there. That's high off the monster. Or in the triangle, and Miller's got himself a double. 15th hit for the 0-4 team. Orlando Cabrera is 0 for 3. He has struck out, scored, and singled, or driven in a run. Sac fly. Tom Terrific deals. Ground ball to Buckner. Flips it to Seaver covering for the out. So 2 out, and Miller goes to third for Kapler, who's 0 for 4. Seaver will face a pinch hitter, Trot Nixon, who doffs the cap. Seaver, 315, 6 homers, and 23 RBI. Tommy deals, and there's a ground ball base hit. The pinch hit worked. It's now 9-0. Johnny Damon is 2 for 4. He's gotten himself a double, an RBI, a single, and a run scored. Seaver deals. Nixon leads off at first. Damon sends this one high and deep to right. Evans is there. It's going to fall in front of Evans. And Damon's on with a single. It dropped in front of no man's land. Armas Barrett wasn't deep at all. Armas Barrett and Evans went out there. And again, this 86 team has not been their own best friend. And Mark Bellhorn at the plate. Mark is 2 for 5. He is singled, doubled, and driven in a run. Pitch to Bellhorn. Ground ball to Buckner. Takes it to first himself. And I think we've reached the 5-year-old at the haunted house portion of the night. 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors. 8.5 in the books. It's now 9-0. 0-4s. And Schilling is going to go shutout. 8 innings, 3 hits, 27 batters. He walked 2 and struck out 6. Boggs is 1 for 2 with a walk. Schilling delivers, and Boggs hits that one to Bellhorn. Over to Pokey, 1 out. Well, you don't need to worry about your bullpen if you're not going to use it, which is the reason why I went with Clemens. Which is why I went with Roger. Marty Barrett's 0 for 2. He's grounded into a double play. Schilling's pitch struck him out. So Schilling has struck out 7. Here comes Jim Rice. He is 0 for 2. He has walked once and struck out once. And Schilling is 1 out away from a masterpiece. He delivers, and Rice sends this one to left, and he's got his masterpiece. Curt Schilling has 3 hit the 86 Red Sox in a magnificent performance. The 04 Red Sox win this one 9-0. Curt Schilling threw a 3-hitter. He walked 2 on 7 on 119 pitches. 85 strikes and 34 balls. Clemens just got his clock cleaned. 4 1/3, 7 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned. Stanley wasn't much better, but it did that way. He at least was semi-effective, and Tom Seaver just getting the gift appearance here. 3 hits over to the third. Kevin Millar got hurt. David Ortiz went 3 for 4. Jason Fairchild made it a lot worse. Kurt Schilling and his 3 hitters are player of the game. We'll be back in a moment for Game 2. Right here on our Patreon baseball special. All right, we're ready for the second half of this, sponsored by you. You can tell me what game you want me to play on Patreon. Hopefully it'll be better than the first game of this set. Tell me on Patreon, tell me. Patreon.com/RetroSportsNetwork, $10 gets you any game you want. And the Action PC line, that's Patreon.com, Retro Sports Network, or you can just drop a tip. Greatly appreciated, certainly. Not required. Okay. So we get ready for Game 2. This time around, I didn't tell you in the first game. It's raining, by the way. 16-mile-an-hour winds out to right and 83 degrees as we get ready for this June 8th contest between the 86s and the 04s. The one that gave the 86 team. I changed that? I did. Okay, the 86 team, all the credit in the world for being bad. I'm the one that ran them. They're actually going to run out Ocam Boyd. They had a better whip than Bruce Hurst. Barely. So if there is a Game 3, it'll be Hurst. Pedro Martinez and Ocam Boyd in this one, the lineup's more of the traditional lineup of what they ran out there, at least to start, for most of it. Wade Boggs will play third. Marty Barrett will bat second and play second. Bill Buckner moves up to third. That's where he hit in 86. Jim Rice in left will bat fourth. Dwight Evans will play right and bat fifth. Don Baylor, your DH. Kevin Romine is a better offensive center fielder. Why they chose that over Dave Henderson, I don't know. That's who I chose. The computer chose the 25, and that's what I used. Rich Gedman slides down to 8th to catch, and Ray Quinones returns as the shortstop. Defensively, the only change I made was in right in Game 2. Trot Nixon is a full out there, and we'll see his arm in a moment. But everyone else is the same. Wade Boggs went 1 for 3 in the opener with a walk. Pedro Martinez, not his best year, which, at least on the ERA count, 16-9 with a 3.90 ERA. 217 innings, 193 hits, 26 homers. He walked 61 and struck out 227. His whip of 1.171 for Pedro wasn't great. Boggs, as I said, a 357 hitter at 86. 1 for 3 off of Schilling in Game 1. Pedro delivers, ground ball to Cabrera, over to Millar for the out. Nixon is a 4 and a 5 in right, by the way. Marty Barrett went 0 for 3, struck out and grounded into a double play. How the hell did this team ever make the playoffs? Barrett, fly ball to left center. Back goes Damon, and he makes a fantastic catch. A diving stop almost against the wall where Freddie Lynn smashed into it in 75. Bill Buckner went 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Pedro has 2 up and 2 down. Pitch to Bill. Miller over to Millar, and that will retire the side in order. So Pedro keeps up what Schilling did in Game 1. The 86ers go down in order. Here come the 04 Sox. And the only defensive change is Romine. He's a 3 and a 6 in center. He's considered to be a hot prospect, and I think his kid is Austin, who's the catcher for the Yankees, or was for the Yankees. Ocam Boyd went 16-10 for the Red Sox in 86 with a 3.78 ERA, 214 in the third innings, 222 hits, 22 homers, 45 walks, and 129 strikeouts for a whip of 1.246. So Kevin Millar moves up to second for Game 2. Manny Ramirez will bat third. David Ortiz, the DH, fourth. Jason Varitek will catch and bat fifth. Bill Miller will go sixth in this one. Mark Bellhorn demoted to seventh. Trot Nixon, the right fielder, the lefty, will bat eighth. And Cabrera will hit ninth. Damon went 3 for 5 in game one with a double, an RBI, and a run scored. Boyd delivers, fly ball to left. Rice goes back in the raindrops and makes the catch for the first out. Kevin Millar is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He got injured in that first game, and then we had to do the whole cluster of poopies to get our first baseman. David Ortiz is the other first baseman for Boston because Minkevich was not chosen by the computer GM. But if you use Ortiz, you lose your DH. Not doing that. Boyd delivers. Ground ball to Quinones. Deep in the hole. Over to Buckner. Millar's got some wheels, but Buckner kept his foot on the bag. So 2 out for Manny Ramirez, who went 2 for 5. Single twice with a run scored. Dennis delivers. Fly ball to left center. Romine is there, and how about that? The 0-4 team is retired in order. After 1, no score. So Jim Rice went 0 for 3. In game 1, he walked and struck out. Martinez got the side in the first in order. Pitch to Rice. There's a little looper that's going to get down in left center. So Rice is going for 2. Throwing to Bellhorn is not in time, so Jim's got himself a double. And the 86ers have a runner in scoring position for Dwight Evans, who's struck out twice and went 0 for 3 in game 1. Pitch to Evans, ground ball to Cabrera. Over to Millar. Evans doesn't possess that much speed. Rice will stay at second, 1 out. For Don Baylor, who's 1 for 3. Baylor singled in game 1. Martinez delivers, struck him out. Full count, and Baylor watched it like a Duncan on the side of the road. Here's Kevin Romine. I'm surprised that they used him or put him on the automatic 25. Hit 257 with 2 RBI. Kills lefties, but he's facing the righty and Pedro. Martinez deals. Romine, chopper down to Bellhorn. Rice moves to third, over to Millar. It's third down anyway. And that will retire the side. So guess what? The mid-80s, they stranded to runner on base. 1.5 in the books. Boston's the 86, 0, 4-0. David Ortiz had a whale of a game 1. He singled 3 times and drove in a run. Boyd delivers, and Poppy sends this one to right. Evans is there, 1 away. Brings up Varitek, who's 2 for 5. Jason singled, doubled, scored a run, and struck out twice. Was one of the few batters that Clemens actually was decent with. Boyd delivers, and Varitek slaps that one all the way to the bullpen wall. Evans gets it on a hop. Varitek goes into second standing. And the 0-4s have a runner in scoring position, 1 out here in the second. For Bill Miller, who had 3 doubles in game 1 and 3 RBI. It would have been the MVP if it wasn't for the fact that Schilling threw a 3-hitter. Boyd delivers. Miller, fly ball to right. Evans is there. Varitek goes back to tag and will hold. 2 out for Mark Bellhorn, who went 2 for 6. Single, double, RBI, and a run scored. Got him! Boyd struck him out. Bellhorn watched a 1-2 pitch go by, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We've played 2. This one's been better for Steiners. 86-0, 0-4-0. So Pedro will face Gedman, Quinones, and Boggs. Gedman 1 for 3 with a strikeout in game 1. He sends this one all the way to left field. Off the wall. Manny misplays it, and Gedman's on with a double. So second hit for the 86 squad, and the second extra base hit. but Gedman has no speed. Brings up Quinones, who is 0 for 3 in game 1. Pedro delivers, and there's a base hit into center field. Damon will pick it up. Quinones is going for 2. He slides. He's safe. And the 86 team scores 1-0. So the 86ers draw first blood. Not sure who will pitch for the 04 Sox if this goes 3. It'll definitely be Bruce Hurst if the 86 team wins. Wade Boggs is 0 for 1, so Martinez threw 9 batters, 2 innings, 3 hits, all doubles, and a strikeout. Boggs is 0 for 1. Pedro deals, and there's a base hit right side. Nixon picks it up. Quinones is going to hold at third. Are you kidding? Nixon made a bad play out there. Boggs obviously wasn't going, but wow. And so runners in the corners, nobody out for Marty Barrett, who was 0 for 1. Pedro from the stretch deals. Marty, base hit left field. Quinones scores. Barrett goes to second on a double. And Martinez is getting racked around here in the third for Bill Buckner, who was 0 for 1. So Boggs on third, Barrett on second, nobody out here in the third. And the 86 team has a 2 spot on the board. Pedro deals. Buckner, fly ball to right. That should score Boggs. Nixon goes way back. Boggs goes back to tag. He'll score without a throw, and it's 3-0 86. So Kurt Berglund stands up on the visitors' dugout and starts doing the hokey pokey. Here's Jim Rice. He's 1 for 1 with a double. And Pedro, kind of like Clemens in game 1, just not himself. Pitch to Rice. Fly ball, center field, left center. Damon is there. Barrett goes back to tag. The throw to Miller is not in time. Well, there's no throw, the play-by-play says, but Damon had the wind carry that one. It's blowing out to Rice. So he kind of got twisted, got a late start on it, and made a diving catch. So Barrett is on third. Evans is 0 for 1. Pedro deals. Evans, ground ball, base hit up the middle. Barrett will score. It's 4-0 86 Red Sox. And the computer's going, you're an idiot manager, Ron. John Baylor has struck out. He's 0 for 1. The only strikeout by Pedro in this game. Pitch to Baylor. Got him! Swung on and missed on a 1-2 pitch. Fastball. 4 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. And finally got some action here. After 2.5, it's the 86 team 4. The world champions nothing. Trot Nixon singled and scored in game 1. Receiver. 315, 6 homers, and 23 RBI. Boyd, loving life, he's got a 4-run cushion. I mean, Nixon, Cabrera, and Damon here in the third. Pitch to Trot, base hit up the middle. Romine throws into second. Nixon's digging, and Nixon's got it. So a double for Trot, and that brings up Cabrera, who went 0 for 4 in game 1 with an RBI and a strikeout. The RBI came on a sac fly. Boyd from the stretch. Fly ball to right. Evans. 2 out. Nixon tags. He will try for third. The throw is not in time. So it was 1 out. And so Nixon makes the bold move. And he's into third safely. Ran on Dwight Evans. And Evans just kind of sits there and stands there and right and smiles and gives him a wink. So Elcano's thrown 2 1/3 innings in the first 9. 33 pitches, 2 hits, and a strikeout. Damon is 0 for 1. Boyd delivers, and Damon sends this one into left center. Romine goes back to catch it. Nixon will tag and score. And with 2 out, the 04 team is on the board, 4-1. Brings up Kevin Millar, who's 0 for 1. Boyd, not real worried. He's through the he's through the division clincher against Toronto. Shutout. Buckner made the last out, and Clemens pitched Game 7. Boyd pitched Game 6 of the ALCS. Gave up 3 in the first, I think, to California. I know that California scored 3 in the first, and the Red Sox scored 3 right back, and Boston just didn't take the foot off the pedal until they got back home the next week. Pitch to Millar, who's 0 for 1. Fly ball to right. Evans will turn and watch it go. So Millar cowboys that one up in the bullpen, and it's 4-2 with 2 out. So he hit that in the jet stream, 79 degrees, 18-mile-an-hour wind left to right. And that'll bring up Manny Ramirez as 0 for 1. So the 0-4 team has cut the lead down to 2. Dennis delivers, ground ball to Boggs, over to Buckner, and that will retire the side. 2 runs on 2 hits and no errors. After 3, it's the 86 Red Sox 4, the 0-4 Red Sox 2. So Kevin Romine, Rich Gedman, and Ray Quinones for the 86 squad in the 4th. Pedro's pitch, Romine strikes out. He got him to swing and miss in a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and that's 3 for Petey. And here's Gedman. Doubled and scored in the 3rd. Pedro deals, and Gedman strikes out. The 0-2 caught the outside corner, and Gedman goes down looking. So 2 punchados for Pedro. And here's Quinones, who doubled and scored and drove in a run in the 3rd. 4-2, 86, top the 4th, 2 out. Pedro deals, Quinones to Miller with a fantastic diving stop over to Millar. And they got him. What a play by Miller. No runs, no hits, no errors. 3.5 down. It's still the 86 Red Sox 4, the 0-4 Red Sox 2. So Ortiz, look at the right side, Ron. Varitek and Miller here in the 4th to face the can, who scuffled a bit in the 3rd, but still holds a 4-2 lead. Ortiz is 0 for 1, not anymore. Ground ball right side, base hit. And so now the tying run is Varitek, who doubled his first time up. Boyd delivers up the middle, should be 2. Barrett, Quinones for 1, but Varitek has good speed, and Ortiz took advantage and did the roll block slide into Quinones. And so Varitek is safe, 1 out from Miller, who's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. Line drive to Barrett, who leaps and makes the catch for the out. 2 away for Mark Bellhorn. Mark struck out his first time up. 2 out, bottom of the 4th. 4-2, 86 over the world champion Red Sox. Bellhorn, fly ball to right. Evans goes back. That's going to grab some wall. Bellhorn's on with a double. Varitek will round 3rd. The throw goes in the infield, and it's 4-3. Here comes Nixon. Nixon doubled and scored in the 3rd. 1 for 1. Boyd starting to struggle now. 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. Dennis delivers. Nixon up the middle, base hit. Bellhorn will score, and we're tied at 4. So Cowboy up they are. Here's Cabrera. He's 0 for 1. Boyd now is an ERA of close to 10. Pitch to Cabrera. Nixon on first. Line drive, base hit up the middle. Nixon goes to 3rd. The can is getting kicked. And there's 2 out for Damon. So after 18 batters, 64 pitches, 3 2/3 innings, 7 hits, a homer, and a strikeout. And now it's raining pretty good, and the sky is just for the 0-4 Red Sox. Damon, sac fly into third. He's 0 for 1. Boyd and Gedman trying to get on the same page. Here's the pitch. Damon popped it up. Gedman takes off the mask in foul territory and makes a fantastic catch near the screen. But the 0-4 Red Sox tie it. 2 runs on 4 hits and no errors. After 4, Red Sox of 86 4, the 0-4 Sox 4. My lucky number, by the way, is 4. So Martinez, Pedro threw 18 batters, 4 innings, 67 pitches, and 4 strikeouts. Boggs, Barrett, and Buckner. Boggs has singled and scored. He's 1 for 2. Pedro delivers, and there's a line drive to Bellhorn. 1 away. Marty Barrett doubled home Boggs, as a matter of fact. Scored 2. 1 for 2. PD's pitch, and there's an extra base hit all the way to the wall in the corner. Nixon got a late jump on it, and Barrett's on with a double. So 7 hits aside and 4 runs aside. Here's Bill Buckner. He's got himself an RBI. He's 0 for 1. Sac fly to right in the third. Martinez delivers. Ground ball to Cabrera deep in the hole at short over to Millar, and Buckner just doesn't have any wheels, and that's 2 out. For Jim Rice, who's got himself a double, he's 1 for 2. Pedro's pitch. There goes Barrett. Ball 4. So Rice gets the freebie. And that'll bring up Dwight Evans, who's 1 for 2. Veritek and Martinez trying to get on the same page. Pedro delivers, and Evans gets hit. And so the Red Sox are looking, or the 86 or the 04 Sox are about ready to go to the pen. Here's Don Baylor. He has struck out twice. Martinez delivers. Bases loaded, and he walks home Baylor. Or walked Baylor. So Barrett comes home. And who do you go with? It's going to be Mendoza, but I'm going to give Pedro Romine because Romine really can't hit. So bases are loaded. Rice on third. Evans on second. Baylor on first. 5-4, 86 here in the fifth. Pedro delivers. Romine base hit right side. Rice will score. Evans will score. Baylor goes to third. Romine gets the hit. And here comes Alan Embry. Lefty, righty, lefty. Yep. In the pitch, they've chased Pedro Martinez with 2 outs here in the fifth. The 86 squad showing some moxie. Or maybe drinking some moxie. You never know. We got ourselves a pitching change from Fenway Park in Boston. The 86 team has survived 7-4. So Embry, 2-2 in 04 with a 4.13 ERA. 52 in the third innings, 49 hits, 7 homers, 11 walks, and 37 strikeouts. The first use of the bullpen from the 04 team. Pitch to Gedman. Ground ball to Bellhorn. Over to Cabrera for the force at second. But the 86 Sox strike back. 3 runs on 2 hits and no errors. Halfway home in game 2. They lead 7-4. And so here's the in-game box score. Marty Barrett 2 for 3. Kevin Romine with a 2-run single. You never know who the hero is going to be. I don't know if he made the playoff roster or not. I doubt it. Because they had Dave Henderson. When Tony Armas slumped early, they went with Hendu. And then Hendu, of course, hit the big homer in Game 5 of the ALCS. The 0-4 Red Sox are hitting. This has not been a pitcher's duel. But they chased Pedro Martinez after 4 2/3 innings. 8 hits, 7 runs, all earned. And Boyd, let's see if Boyd can find his footing. Millar, Ramirez, and Ortiz here in the 5th. He delivers. Millar strikes out. A 2-2 count, swung on and missed. Millar homered in the 3rd to put the 0-4 Sox on the board. So here's Manny Ramirez. Manny's 0 for 2. Second strikeout for Ocam Boyd. Here's the pitch. Ramirez, ground ball, base hit, left side, and the 0-4 Sox have some business. Here's Ortiz. He's 1 for 2 with a single. Now, Ocam's given name was Dennis. I mentioned that earlier. Had a good career in Boston, pitched a few years in Montreal. You know why they called him Wilcan? We'll talk about that in a minute. It has nothing to do with petrol whatsoever. Pitch to Ortiz. Base hit up the middle. Ramirez will round second, but will hold. And so the tying run is at the plate for Varitek, who's 1 for 2 with a double, and a run scored. Crowd getting into this one. 7-4, 86. 1 out, bottom of the 5th. Boyd struggling again. Varitek, base hit right side. Ramirez will round 3rd. Evans picks it up, and they're loaded for Bill Miller. That's the 10th hit allowed by Boyd. I better get the story out quick. We'll pitch to Miller. He's 0 for 2. Pitch, little nubber. Quinones fires over to Buckner. Does Miller beat it out? No, yes. But a run scores. Quinones actually stepped on second, so it's a fielder's choice, 6U. Ramirez scores at 7-5. Runners on the corners. Ortiz on 3rd, and Miller on 1st for Bellhorn. Was a double. He's 1 for 2 with a strikeout. Boyd's pitch. Ball 4. Come on, come get him. Nope. All right, well, I'm coming to get him. For Trot Nixon, who was 2 for 2 with a double and an RBI. I'll let McNamara make the decision. Anyway, the reason why Dennis is called Wilcan, Boyd's from Mississippi, and that's what you call the beer can. And so either his father was a rather healthy drinker, or Dennis was a rather healthy drinker. Probably not as a baby, though, so that's where the name Wilcan came from. Boyd delivers to Nixon, and there's a line drive to right. Evans dives and makes the catch. So the 0-4 Red Sox score a run on 3 hits and no errors. Not a pitcher's duel at all. After 5, 86-7, 0-4-5. And I need a drink. So Embry will start the 6th. Quinones has 1 for 2 with a double, an RBI, and a run scored. Embry delivers. Quinones, fly ball to right. Nixon's the one. He's got it, worn away. I suppose it doesn't matter if you go lefty-lefty Boggs, considering he had a split of 352, but he's 1 for 3. Single and a run scored. 7-5, 86 here in Game 2. Top of the 6th, 1 out. Embry delivers. Ground ball to Bellhorn. Over to Millar for the out. 2 away. Hermione Barrett is doubled twice. Down 2 for 6 in the series. If there is a Game 3, it'll be its own separate stream. And it will probably be, will be taped at my discretion. So Barrett, 7-5, nobody on, 2 out. Embry ready. Pitch, and there's right back to Allen, over to Millar, and that will retire the side. So the Red Sox, the 86 Red Sox, go down in order. After 5.5, it's the 86 squad 7, The 04 squad 5. And Boyd stays out there. More like a tomato can in this contest. Cabrera, Damon, and Millar here in the 6th. Orlando was 1 for 2. Boyd delivers, struck him out. Gedman hung on to it. Cabrera tipped it right in the glove. So that's 3 for Boyd. 27 batters deep, 103 pitches, only 5 in the 3rd innings. He's wobbled his way around. They're trying to knock him out, but he won't go down. 10 hits, a homer by Millar. He has walked 1 and struck out 3. Damon is 0 for 2 with an RBI. Boyd's pitch. Fly ball, center field. Romine's got it. 2 out. Easy peasy right now for Boyd. Now brings up Millar, who's 1 for 3. Had that home run in the 3rd. 7-5, bottom of the 6th. The old-timers lead. Well, they're both old-timers, I suppose. Boyd's pitch to Millar. Liner in the center. Romine's got it. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 6, it's the American League champions 7, the world champions 5. So Embry says I can pitch to Buckner. And Francona says you do that. Bill is 0 for 2 with an RBI. Embry delivers. Buckner right back to Embry. Over to Millar. And that will do it. Here comes Jim Ed. And Embry, who's not a long reliever by any stretch, goes an inning in 2/3. Ramiro Mendoza next out of the chute. 1 out in the 7th. We got a pitching change here from Fenway Park in Boston. The 86 squad 7, the 04 squad 5. Mendoza pitched for the Yankees a lot as well. He was a Swiss Army knife pitcher. He'd start for the Yankees. He started a few games for Boston, but I don't think it was in 04. 2-1 for the Sox in 04 with a 3.52 ERA. 30 2/3 innings, 25 hits, 3 homers, 7 walks, and 13 strikeouts. Rice is 1 for 2. He's got himself a double and a walk. And a run scored. Nobody out, or nobody on, 1 out here in the 7th. Mendoza deals, and Rice swings and misses on a 2-2 pitch for strike 3. So 2 out for Dwight Evans, who's 1 for 2. Mendoza can go 30 pitches. That might get him into the 9th. We'll see. Dewey has an RBI and a run scored. Mendoza deals, and Evans sends that one to the wall and left. Ramirez in the corner won't get there. Miller should have had it. It was a fair ball, and Dewey's on with a 2-out double. For Don Baylor, who was 0 for 2 with an RBI, a walk and 2 strikeouts. Pitch to Baylor. Ground ball to Miller. Over to Millar. And that will retire the side. Sammy Stewart's coming in to pitch for the 86 Sox. Boyd's night is mercifully done, but it is effective. Stretch time here. Get last call for alcohol. It's 86-7, 0-4-5. So Sammy Stewart, as you can tell, used to pitch for the Orioles. 4-1 with a 4.38 ERA. And in 86, that wasn't terrible. 63 2/3 innings, 64 hits, 7 homers. He walked 48. And got 47, and had a whip of 17.59. And I'm sure I can make a Sam Adams joke there somewhere. He's a righty, so is Manny Ramirez, who's 1 for 3. He singled and scored. Stewart delivers ball 4, and so the tying run is at the plate in David Ortiz. Oh, a joy. Ortiz is 2 for 3. Stewart from the stretch. And that gets away from Gedman. And Manny moves on to second. And Ortiz has worked the count full. 3-2 the count. Ortiz is 2 for 3. Stewart delivers. Well, that was just a bit outside, but I don't think Stewart and McNamara are going to mind that a bit. It's pouring here, by the way. And the wind is howling out at 19. And so 35,000 strong in ponchos, waiting to see what's going to happen. Here's Jason Varitek. He is 2 for 3 with a double and a run scored. Stewart's pitch, ball 4, and they're loaded for Bill Miller, who is 0 for 3. There's nobody out. Ramirez on third, Ortiz on second, and Varitek on first. Stewart's walked him loaded, and he walks home a run. Manny will score. Miller laid off the pitch, and Stewart has issued 4 straight walks. He'll face Bellhorn, who's got a very good eye for a guy that strikes out a metric ton. He's 1 for 2 with a double, an RBI and a run scored. It's now 7-6 here in the bottom of the 7th. Nobody out. Stewart's pitch, line drive to right. Evans makes the catch. Ortiz will hold, and there's 1 out for Trot Nixon, who is singled and doubled. He's 1 for 1, RBI and a run scored. Stewart and Gedman get on the same page, or try to anyway. Nixon up the middle, base hit. Ortiz scores. We are knotted up at 7. And Sammy Stewart has backfired like a motorcycle parade. Or a motorcycle at a parade that put the gas in the wrong hole. Cabrera is 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. 7-7 here in the 7th. 1 out. Stewart deals. Base hit right field. Varitek scores. Here comes Miller. Francona's going to hold him. A bad play by Barrett, and it's now 8-7. 0-4 Red Sox. And here comes Steve Crawford, who went 0-2 in '86. Got the win in the biggest game of his career, I believe, Game 5 of the '86 American League Championship Series. Or at least made my favorite quote. A 3.92 ERA, 4 saves, 57 innings, 69 hits, 5 homers, 19 walks, and 32 strikeouts. Ugh. A bite of salted almonds. For me. So Johnny Damon 0 for 3 with an RBI. They're still loaded. Miller on third. Nixon on second. I believe it's Nixon on first. And I'm sorry, it's Cabrera. And here comes Crawford. Damon, base hit right side. Miller will score. Nixon will hold. It's 9-7. And the Red Sox bullpen has fallen apart. Here's Millar. 1 for 4. Run in the second. The '86 team led 4-0 at one point and 7-5. Not over yet. But you're getting into close to Keith Folk territory. Millar, as I said, had the home run in the third. A solo shot. They're still loaded. It gets away from Gedman. Nixon scores. Cabrera to third. Damon to second. Everybody moves up 90 on the wild pitch, and it's 10-7. 2-2 the count. Crawford delivers. Got him! Strike 3 called, and that will bring up Manny Ramirez, who's 1 for 3. He has scored twice and walked. Crawford said, well, after that Game 5 of the American League Championship Series, told reporters with a straight face, because that was just one of the greatest ball games ever played. He said afterwards, if there was a bathroom on the mound, I would have used it. 2 out, pitch to Ramirez. There's a ground ball to Quinones, over to Buckner, and the inning is mercifully over. They get 5 runs on 3 hits and no errors. After 7. It's the 04 squad 10. The 86 team 7. Kevin Romine 1 for 3 with 2 RBI. Mendoza gonna stay. And Keith Folk loosening in the pen. And Steve Psycho Lyons will pinch hit. 250, a homer, and 14 RBI. Mendoza deals. Ball 4. It's going to be one of those games that's going to go on 20 innings, isn't it? So Lyons is on with a walk. Mendoza and the ump don't see eye to eye. You've already burned the lefty. Here's Gedman. He's 1 for 3. Folk warming. Pitch to Gedman. Ball 4. That's it for Mendoza. It won't be Folk. Mike Timlin. Really? Nope. Scott Williamson. Former Cincinnati Red came in and pitched lights out for the Red Sox. 0-1 with the save and an ERA of 1.26. In 28 and 2/3 innings, he allowed 11 hits, 18 walks, 28 strikeouts. Lyons on second. Gedman on first. Quinones, the tying run. He's 1 for 3. Timlin and Folk are warming. Williamson delivers. Ball 4. Are you kidding? The whip of 1-0-1-2, and they're loaded for Wade Boggs, who was 1 for 4 with a run scored. That hit is a single, and so the tying run is on base. Boggs is the go-ahead run here in the 8th. Williamson deals. Base hit to the wall in left center. Lyons scores. Gedman will score. Quinones will hold at third. Boggs has hit a double, and it's 10-9 with nobody out here in the 8th. For Marty Barrett, who is 2 for 4. Bill Buckner's on deck. This place is going bananas. Williamson deals. It gets away from Veritek, and Quinones scores the tying run. Are you kidding me? It's 10-10. And a full count to Barrett. Williamson deals. Ground ball to Millar. Gonna throw home. Boggs is going to try to score. The throw to Veritek is safe. The 86 team has put 4 on the board here in the 8th, and there is still nobody out. Williamson is done. It backfired, and here comes Mike Timlin with the score 11-10. We got a pitching change. This game is coming to you from Fenway Park in Boston. So Mike Timlin with a runner on first. And Barrett, he reached on the fielder's choice after Boggs scored the go-ahead run. 5-4 in 04 with a save and a 4.13 ERA. 76 in the 3rd inning, 75 hits, 8 home runs allowed. He walked 19 and struck out 56. Buckner, Rice, and Evans. There's still nobody out. Buckner is 0 for 3. Timlin delivers. Ground ball to Miller. Only play is to first. Buckner's retired. Barrett goes to second. For Jim Rice, who is 1 for 3. 11-10-86. Pitch to Jim, struck him out. A 2-2 cutter, strike 3 call. 2 out for Dwight Evans, who was 2 for 3. Single, double, drove in a run, and scored. Wow. Pitch to Dewey, fly ball to left. Ramirez is there to make the catch to retire the side. But the 86 Red Sox torch the 04 bullpen for 4 on 1 hit and no errors and a lot of walks. You're off the hook, Sammy Stewart. The 86 Sox 11, the 04 10. Ortiz, Veritek, and Miller here in the bottom of the 8th. And you got to think, Calvin Chiraldi looming large for the 86 team. Ortiz is 2 for 3. He has scored a run, singled twice, and walked. Crawford deals. Opposite field. In the left. Rice is there. 1 out. The captain, Jason Veritek, 2 for 3. Single, a double, has scored twice and walked. Wow. Crawford's pitch. Fly ball to right. Evans comes in, makes the catch, 2 out. For Bill Miller. 0 for 3, 2 RBI, and a run scored. And Crawford is an out away from a clean inning. The 86 Sox, Baylor, Lyons, and Gedman. And we'll see who we're pitching. Crawford deals. Miller, liner into right field. He'll hold with a single. And that brings up Mark Bellhorn, who was 1 for 3. He has doubled, struck out, and walked, among other things. So runner on first. 2 out, bottom of the 8th. Tying run is on. Bellhorn the go-ahead run. Crawford from the stretch. Fly ball to right. Back goes Evans. Off the wall. Miller will round third. Dewey's throwing home. Nope, he's not. Game is tied. 11-11. My goodness. Mark Bellhorn has tied the game at 11. 10 hits for the 86 squad, 15 for the 04 squad. Nixon, can he be the one? 3 for 4, 2 singles, a double. He's driven in 2 and scored 2. He has 3 hits today. Crawford will walk him and face Orlando Cabrera, who is 2 for 4. He is single twice, RBI, and a strikeout. Gedman and Crawford converge. It's still pouring here at Fenway. Pitch to Cabrera, gets away from Gedman. Are you nuts? A wild pitch by Crawford. And Bellhorn and Nixon move up 90. And the count is 2-2. And Johnny Damon is on deck. He deals. Base hit right side. Bellhorn scores. Here comes Nixon. The throw home to Gedman is not in time. It's 13-11-04. Joe Sambito, who somehow saved 12 games with an ERA of 4.84, comes in to face Damon. He's 2-0 on the year, 44 2/3 innings, 54 hits, 4 homers, 16 RBI, and 30 strikeouts. Damon is 1 for 4 with 2 RBI, 13 runs, 16 hits, and no errors for the 04 squad. 11 runs, 10 hits, and no errors for the 86 team. And Keith Folk is going to close this one out when we get there. Damon has driven in 2. Cabrera on first. Ground ball to Quinones. Long throw to Buckner. And Damon will be out. But 3 runs on 3 hits and no errors. We go to the top of the 9th. It's the 04 Red Sox 13. The 86 Red Sox 11. Baylor, Lyons, and Gedman do up. So Folk comes in to pitch. The last one in the bullpen is Curtis Laskanik. Folk 5-3 with 32 saves. He could probably go 2. ERA of 2.17, 83 innings, 63 hits, 8 home runs allowed. He walked 15 and struck out 79, and no one has gone anywhere. There are 35,000 waterlogged Red Sox fans here at Fenway Park. Baylor is 0 for 3 with an RBI. He has walked 1 and struck out 2. Folks pitch. Baylor into left. Ramirez 1 away. Steve Lyons at 250, a homer and 14 RBI. He scored a run and walked in the 8th. What a ball game. 1 out, top the 9th. Folk delivers. Ball 4. And so the tying run is at the plate in Gedman, with Quinones due up behind him. Gedman 1 for 3. He's got a double. He has scored twice. He has walked once and struck out. Folk delivers. Struck him out. He swung on and missed an 0-2 pitch in its last chance here for the 86 Sox. Ray Quinones is 1 for 3. Let's see if they pinch hit. He's got a double and an RBI, and if he can extend the game, it's Wade Boggs. Folks pitch. Struck him out. The game is over. And so the 0-4 Red Sox survive the 86 Red Sox and 1 for the ages. No runs, no hits, no errors. The final score, the World Champions 13, the 86 American League Champions 11. And so who would have thought you'd chase Pedro Martinez for 7 runs in 4 2/3 innings. He gave up 8 hits. And then Embry goes out and pitches the game of his life, inning and 2/3. Mendoza and Williamson just pooped the bed. And then Timlin with a clean inning, and then Folk does his stuff. 189 pitches combined. Boyd did not pitch great. He gave up 10 hits. And then his bullpen, how the hell does Sammy Stewart have plus stuff? And then Steve Crawford had plus stuff. And it didn't really matter for Zambito. I mean, there was a reason why the Red Sox Achilles heel was their bullpen, and the 0-4 team found it. I mean, how can you score 11 runs? They were up 11-10 and couldn't close the deal. Unreal. I gotta pick an MVP out of this, huh? Well, I would think that it would probably be Trot Nixon, who went 3 for 4 with 2 RBI. Everybody had a hit. You know, Don Baylor and Buckner. But Buckner had an RBI, and so did Baylor. There wasn't anybody on either squad that wasn't productive. My goodness gracious. Well, again, I wouldn't read anything out of it as far as what team is better or what team's, which era is better or which team's worse, because the 0-4 team is from another era. In modern baseball as well. That was a fun game. 20. And the 0-4 Sox had 22 base runners, and the 86 Sox had 16. That first game was a clunker. We made up for it with the second one, though, and just goes to show that that both teams can be competitive. Hurst's whip was just a touch higher, and so that's why I went with Boyd as opposed to Hurst in Game 2. He certainly would have pitched Game 3. But the 0-4 Red Sox were probably, the better team in that. I mean, a 2-game set, you really can't tell. That one was fun. I enjoyed that one. But 13-11. So again, I wouldn't read too much into that as far as what's a good team in there. If you really wanted to do a supreme test of mono best team of the era, from today, I would take those 17 Astros and pit them either against the 86 Mets or the 84 Tigers. 84 Tigers might be a fair test because you had the DH. But that's just me. And besides, whatever era you enjoy baseball in, whether you're a 50s fan or a 60s fan or an 80s fan or a fan of today, it's the era that you want and enjoy it. So thanks to Kurt, we'll give him the option of whether he wants to do something else. Because again, the first game was just terrible, but this one was incredible. Like I said, I wouldn't read too much into it. The Cubs and the Bears, yeah, there is a cross-era setting here and a standard setting for Action PC Baseball. I always use the standard. I think it kind of mishmashes both of them together. OOTP does it as well, as you said. And there's some normalized teams for cards and dice. I know that Replay has a few sets of those, and NP3 does some normalizing too. And I think APA has great teams in the past. So it is done in cards and dice. And don't ask, I've seen some of the formula discussed of how you normalize it for era, but it depends on what year you normalize it for. So it's a long, complicated process. Again, I wouldn't read too much into anything, and that second game was a great deal of fun. I hope you enjoy it. I'm Ron Juckett. If you're interested in having a game played for you, here's how you do it. Hit the button. There you go. Come on. There. That's where the text pops up on the screen. Patreon.com/RetroSportsNetwork. Any Action PC game, any era, any two teams. I'll do it for you. Check the Patreon for how to do that. So, thanks a bunch. I hope you enjoyed. This was a long video on top of one I did earlier. And so, for Retro Sports Network, I'm Ron Juckett. We will talk to you the next time. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks to Kurt for suggesting this. Good night.